now come to the event for today, which is the Metaverse, Future of Fashion Business. And of course, this is being presented to you in conversation with Sunil Arora, the co-founder of Trace Networks. Sunil has had a long career being a professor in the education segment, from education going into the corporate world, and 35 years. It's not a small amount of time which one spends in the industry. And I don't know anybody who doesn't know Sunil, because that has been his level of exposure, interaction across the industry, and not to in India, globally. So Sunil, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on board with us today for this particular session.
Thank you so much. The pleasure is mine too. And yes, it's great to be interacting with you and all our audience now. So yes, I'm very happy, looking forward to it.
All right. So Sunil, this is our third session in the series of creating education around metaverse and looking at the possibilities of what all can be done, right? I know that the basics these days are already covered. People have started getting exposure to metaverse now, and they kind of have seen or being a part of one or the other way they have been there, or something like that has already happened. I completely understand. So what I want to understand from you today is a next level from metaverse, because I know that metaverse still a lot of people think is a go have an avatar and being present there, just run around in that place. That has been being thought about till now. But I know, and what I know from Trace Networks, that there is a lot in store for what are the possibilities of metaverse, because till the time it doesn't get into the active business generation for the people, looking at opening up various other channels of marketing for these people, or getting to experience people in the new way, it is of no use, right? So tell us, I would like to straight away throw a question at you, in the possibilities in the metaverse which are developing fast and which could be the nearby future. And I know it's not even a distant future, it's a very near future which you're talking about. So please tell us some of the possibilities around this.
Certainly. So the biggest possibility, I'm talking mainly in concern with the apparel and fashion industry, rather than talking of examples and use cases for other industry. I will only be talking of the industry I belong to or you belong to, and I believe our audience also belongs there only. So the idea is we have been working, researching, and I would say developing and creating on various scenarios. And we have been working on multiple building blocks and concepts. And those concepts have ultimately now taken a shape of a complete ecosystem, the ecosystem which can build, which can create, which can perform certain functions, and which can create a genuine earning stream for the fashion industry. So the idea of any concept should have some kind of a commercial or a business value to any industry, and that's how it can go a long way, and it can have use cases, and that can be evolved accordingly. So that is the way we also looked at. So we have been working on multiples of those use cases and multiples of those building blocks. So just to share with you, and which I shared last time also, the first building block of a metaverse or an experience in the metaverse would be your avatar itself. So I'll just share my screen, start away with that only.
Yes. Yes.
I hope you can see my screen now.
I can. Yes.
Yeah. So the basic scenario starts with building your avatar. So the same video I had shown last time also. This is for people to have a look around on what was being done last time. And yes, what requires to be done is basically giving your selfie or a simple picture of yours, giving some basic information of yours, and you are now ready for genuinely creating your avatar. It takes about 90 odd seconds for my platform to build one. And once that avatar is built, it's a real looking avatar. The biggest differentiator that we are presenting to the fashion industry is real looking avatars, which can put on real looking digital clothes. And then you can perform various other kind of functions and functionalities on it. So various kind of garments can be put onto them. You can virtually try on. You can put on several stances on them. So a walk kind of a thing. Or just to give some example, these are 4 different stances on which I'm giving an example. So a simple walk or a difficult movement like a dance movement can also be put. So generally, whether you know dancing or you do not know, the avatar can get onto all these kind of scenarios. So putting on the right kind of clothes, putting on the right kind of stances, and then putting on the right kind of background. These are few of the building blocks, and these building blocks have now started to take shape, and now we are creating commerce out of it. So this is to show you the one of our software called Buddy, and the various examples in the Buddyverse. So we are showing those kind of things. And now I'll stop share and move on to next level of scenario, where I'm in a position to show you what all is coming out of it. I hope you can see my screen now.
Yes, yes, we can. Yeah.
So
You can.
from our avatars and from digital clothing from multiple brands who are associated with us, and creating an NFT based marketplace scenario, we are now in a position to give you a possibility which is called experiential commerce. Experiential commerce is
Sunil, your internet is not good.
You're not able to see it?
No, I am able to see it, but your internet looks a bit scanty, with which because of which we were not able to hear you properly.
Just hold on.
Yeah.
Is it better now?
Take a moment. Yes, yes. Looks now we can at least hear you, and I can see you moving. So please go ahead. Yes.
Okay. Very well. So the idea was to build those blocks and creating some kind of a genuine use case for the fashion industry. So what we have created now is for mainly retailers and brands, where they can have this experiential commerce. So experiential commerce, which is genuinely the future of fashion retail.
Mm-hmm.
So what we are able to do in this, and what we have, would like to showcase that to you, that genuinely what happened, e-commerce, which came almost like 15 years ago in 2011, 12 or something like that. So 10, 12, whatever. And it took away some things and it gave you something. So it took away the shopping experience from the consumers, but it gave an ease of purchasing, and it gave genuine commerce. So commerce and convenience was what it gave, but it took away the shopping experience from the consumers. It took away the brand connect from the consumers. So that kind of a thing is what is being brought in again through experiential commerce, where we are in a position to connect with the brand, and with a new way, with a new involvement, with a new level of engagement with the consumers, with the right kind of commerce as well as convenience. So we are now in a position to create commerce for you in an immersive, in a 3D immersive atmosphere, where nobody needs to leave the house, but you can genuinely have the shopping experience, moving around the retail store, trying on a few categories, interacting with all, and dealing with people over there, talking to people over there, and probably doing shopping with your friends. So this is something which e-commerce had totally taken away. You could not have done it with your friends. He could be sitting or she could be sitting with you. That's a separate thing. But in case one guy is in one geography, the other in another one, you could not have done that. So now you have a brand engagement level with the new category of digital consumers. The biggest level, the biggest scenario, the biggest reason why metaverse is becoming so popular is mainly because of the digital consumers. Because Generation Z, people less than 25 years of age, are mostly online, and their consumption of digital landscapes is much more. So that has created scenarios where their online presence and their possibilities and their acceptabilities online should be consumed. So these digital consumers, the brands want to engage with them. So this can be done through experiential commerce. And you can also connect with your loyal customers of the past, as well as the new consumers, the new digital consumers. So the loyal customers can be adapted through your e-commerce, which you had earlier. So we totally integrate experiential commerce with your e-commerce. So digital plus phygital is the new way to progress ahead for fashion brands and retailers. So digital plus phygital is the scenario where you can create digital only creations of yours and sell it on my platform, or we can create an experiential stores for you where you can genuinely sell all that. And the same thing can also connect to your physical stores, e-commerce physical stores, or your brick and mortar stores, where orders from the digital experiential store can go directly either to your e-commerce or to your physical stores. So, and this will get allocated into my metaverse called Paris, which I'm building. So we'll be talking about Paris more in the forthcoming events. So generally, the challenges which you are facing till now in the physical side of things is commerce and convenience is there, but shopping experience is gone. So shopping experience, which comes out of genuinely walking through this through the retail store, for which the brands are spending heavily. So that is gone in e-commerce. Then all these are physical products. The challenges is that it's a physical product only, which has an expensive and conventional process cycle of designing or manufacturing or shipment and payment collection. All this is very conventional. Then there are a lot of issues of sustainability and wastage on it, environmental pollution on it. So all these are the challenges which are being faced right now in the physical collections, in e-commerce. And these are the things which retail industry is facing, whether it is related to designing, related to manufacturing, related to genuinely physically shipping it out, and geographical restrictions on it. And then after that, getting a payment collected, that itself is another issue. Then there is another problem of returns and various other things, which I'm not talking, just to make the thing simple. So virtual stores with immersive experience is the way to go ahead, which is the future of fashion retail. So you can virtually try on some categories, which is completely integrated to your physical side of e-business or your physical stores. And you can shop with your loved ones as Trace Buddy avatars. So you can go in that as your avatar. Your buddies can come as their avatars, and generally you can have a collaborative shopping, a social shopping session in the virtual store. So that is what is possible through experiential commerce from Trace, where you and your multiple friends from multiple different geographies can join at one time in an experiential store, interact with each other, try on a few categories, interact with all, buy whatever you like, whether it is digital only as NFTs, or you can buy it as physical also, which will be shipped to your place. So all that is possible through our scenarios. And the benefits which are being provided, you are in a position to create digital NFT merchandise for millions of metaverse resident avatars, and you can get into a scenario of create once and sell multiple times. You are creating it once, selling it multiple times, not like the normal scenario where you are creating as many times as you need to sell. Then you are engaging and involving with the consumer in absolutely a new immersive way. Easy to create, easy to sell, easy to ship, easy to collect payments. So everything is digital. You have digital creations. You're selling it digitally. You are shipping it out digitally, and it is going directly into their wallets, into their digital wardrobes, and the payments are automatically coming to you right at the next moment. You are in a position to offer your expansions, and your offers can be expanded to a new digital customer base, which is a global customer base. So engage with the customers with digital options, which is integrated to e-commerce, completely sustainable, absolutely less wastage, completely environment protected, reduced carbon footprint, and a global market reach. So that is another big thing which is available in the immersive commerce, is a global market reach, because everything is being sold digitally. You do not have the limitations of shipping it out where there are restrictions of shipping. So there are no restrictions of shipping or collecting payments. All this is coming digitally. So there are no issues on it. So you have a complete global reach. Then try digital and create physical on response tracking. So this is another thing which is going to be replacing or augmenting the trend analysis or the future requirements, the way it is calculated, the analytics which is done on which you are calculating your future requirements. That is going to be augmented through try digital and create physical on response tracking scenario. So this is what the experiential commerce which I wanted to talk to you about today. And this is what is Trace been able to achieve for multiples of the brands, and I already started working on it. So this is from my side. I'm open to interactions now.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sunil, for explaining us. And yes, as you actually see, what we are now going to do is, I have a few questions which I'm going to be asking.
Sure.
But at this point, within few minutes, this is a time where all of you who are listening to this particular interaction can post your questions in the Q&A box. And then we will be taking these questions up one by one. Sunil will be answering these questions on the possibilities of you being a brand owner. What can you do with it and how you can be a part of it? So we will definitely be talking about these possibilities and any questions which you have. Along with that, you can also definitely look at it here. But right now, a lot of things what Sunil has spoken, I would rather like to, Sunil, bifurcate this entire discussion into two parts. Any business has a B2B wing and a B2C wing, or any kind of industry has two different kind of things. What I could see you mentioning about the stores, you've spoken about the avatars, right? Today, I would like to ask and keep some of my questions around the B2C, the business to consumer. As you've already said, the experiential commerce is becoming very, very critical at this point of time. I would like to take your opinion on the fact that you spoke about setting out a store, right? And you also spoke about the digital and the physical being. So tell us a bit more about the listeners who are here at this point of time. If they have a brand which they have been running, probably they're running a physical store, right? Tell me a bit more length on how they can engage, let's say, with Trace Networks. What can they do because of that? And how can they let a user like you and me go onto their brand and interact in a digital mode and then create a physical mode? So if you can tell me a bit of a process like this, it'll be really wonderful.
Certainly. Let us say you are already having a brand and you are running it either through a brick and mortar store or through e-commerce.
Yes.
So that is what you're doing. You're selling physical collections. So those collections, and you come to Trace and you want a virtual store to be built for you on experiential commerce. So what you will be in a position to do through that is that the first thing that you need to do is that your collections need to come to me in a 3D form. That's one thing which Sotex and Tukatech can help you with. So all those collections can then go and are available for experiential commerce scenario where a virtual store is built for you, and your clothes are your collections are now available as digital collections. So those digital collections have a different price. It creates a separate earning stream for you. From digital only collections, it can create a separate earning stream, and from the physical collections will connect your digital collections to your physical collections also. So you can have a collection which is digital. Presently you probably have 20 designs in the physical side of it and 20 designs in the digital side also. So slowly you start creating more on the digital side, and because the digital side gives you options to try out and experiment with multiple colors, multiple silhouettes, multiple scenarios, and without spending much money on whether you need to actually produce it or not, start creating that and start testing sales of it on digital virtual stores of ours. So that store, which will be your store, so that store can take multiple new collections from you. You've not created them physically presently. There are a few things which are physical also and digital also. Then there are new things which you have created which are digital only. So you can create that, start selling that, see the response of that, and depending on the response of that, you can start creating the physical accordingly. Whether which colors are doing well, which geographies it is doing it well in, what prices are going well with, what silhouettes, what other scenarios are happy. I mean, what customers are virtually trying on, and what are they selling and interacting with. So that data will be given over to you, and you can generally utilize that data instead of doing any kind of a forecasting, instead of doing any kind of a trend analysis. This is a more informed way of doing things, more informed way of creating your collections, and also creating a digital only collection can also be there. A digital plus physical, a phygital collection can also be there. A trial of different scenario can also be done. And connecting with the old consumers in a new way is a new way to engage with them. Connecting with a new set of consumers which are digital only is getting those new consumers. So there are various kind of advantages besides the advantages of sustainability, besides the advantages of not following the payment, not bothering about the shipment, not bothering about creations. So you can probably create on an everyday basis new designs. Those can go onto your store and start selling. Depending on the outcome in 15 days of time, you can then plan it out that what you need to genuinely produce, what you need to actually physically produce. So it is a combination of so many different ideas and so many different possibilities which can be worked upon experiential commerce.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sunil, for explaining this bit, which is I know which is very, very critical. And as I can see that the questions have started coming in, and I would like to start taking some of the questions alongside. And I would rather request all of you, you have a lot of us who are here, to please post your questions in the chat box or in the Q&A box. We'll be happy to take a lot of these questions, right? For one question, which a very common question, Aditya Mani says, is it a mobile app or is it probably available or going to be available in the mobile app? How can we go forward with it?
Oh, Aditya is connected to me on LinkedIn. Hi, Aditya. Great that you are attending over here. I'm happy that you are attending this session, and genuinely honored and happy about it. So it is not an app or something. It's a platform scenario, and it will be created. That store will be created specifically for you, and it will have, to start with, it will have the address of your website. As it can be a subdomain of your website, it could be a yourstore.yourwebsite.com or something like that, and ultimately will get allocated to my metaverse called Paris, which is in the making. So that will add another aspect to it of real estate valuation and various other kind of possibilities which the metaverse offers, which I'm not wanting to tell you and discuss with you right now to confuse you. I do not want to do that. I would rather say that yes, this is the possibility which will come to you also, where you will have the complete store will be available to you as an NFT, which will be allocated to my metaverse, and you will also have the possibility tomorrow to sell that store, to rent that store, not only to use that store for your own thing. So you'll have all those possibilities tomorrow. But presently, what you have is to make that store of yourself and start using it for your own sales and start connecting with more and more people.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you so much, Aditya, for asking this question. And thank you, Sunil, for answering this question. I have a question coming in. Okay, the first question actually came from Rumit Shawnee. Will the recording be available? Yes, the recording is going to be available, Rumit. You can access it on connect.sotex.com. Under Sunil's name as a consultant there, you will definitely be able to see all his recordings as well. Mukesh Singh asks a question. For new products in fashion industry, who need to do before launching one brand, our brand is more important before launch. Okay, the question is not very clear. If you can rephrase the question and post it again, it'll be very nice.
No, maybe he's wanting to ask that before launching a particular physical good, they do not want to launch because the brands are wanting that they should not be launching like that. So that is a new way of doing things. You can probably have different collections of digital only collections. So you can launch those collections and based on that or inspired by those collections or looking at a genuine success of those collections, you can probably create your physical collections. There are various ways you can use that data. So it is not that you're doing a pre-launch kind of a stuff. This is a new way of doing things. You are doing trends analysis on past data. You are doing futuristic I mean, those kind of trend analysis are being done, those kind of forecastings are being done, which are based on past data. That what I was liking yesterday, what I was liking in the past 6 months, or what the whole world has been buying, which colors have been running well, etc., 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 and which silhouettes have been doing. So instead of that, if I do a 15-day-old stuff on a genuine scenario, that gives you a much better look around in the future rather than looking at it from 6 months from now and 6 months ago what was being selling. So now it may or may not have a great connect, as you can easily see that besides having a lot of trend analysis and a lot of forecasting scenarios, you still waste a lot. You still do a lot of things which are created but never sold or sold at discounts. So these are all because of wrong calculations, wrong algorithms, or impossible ways of doing and calculating what you require, which colors will run well, what kind of a quality and quantity will run well. It's absolutely difficult. I have been selling that myself, and I've been selling that at 10 times the price of what I'm selling in experiential commerce on. So it is not at that time that was available. Now new things are available with much more scenarios. So I think you should utilize all that.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Sunil, for the question, answering the question. Anubhav Singh says, thank you for your insights, sir. India still remains a textile made-to-order dominated market in the B2C space. We have seen a lot of use cases for apparel. Would you know some use cases for the metaverse in B2C or even B2C textile space?
B2C, this is what I'm talking of, is absolutely a B2C scenario only. And B2C scenario was quite a bit made to order kind of a thing. But presently, more and more of it is genuinely making, it's no longer made to order scenario. It is genuinely made to stock. And depending on the different sizes which are there, it's being done. So a complete B2B scenario, B2C scenario has changed now. There is a big chunk of things which are genuinely done, made to stock. And that is where the problem is, because the made to stock scenarios, you need to probably calculate your quantities and your sizes much beforehand, and you need to produce it much beforehand. So the it's a combination of various concepts that you need to do to generally come out with the right kind of quantities which you need to produce. And this is one of the fastest and the best way to do it.
Wonderful. Uh, a question which comes from Noved Hussain. Noved says, for any technology to be more popular and to confirm availability, learning part of the technology is very important. Are you open to give a demo or organize seminars for universities? Maybe we will not be a direct customer, but could be a future one. I'm doing my MREs at the University of Portsmouth. Uh, so this is Noved's question at this moment.
I would tell you, Trace is already associated with multiple fashion universities. I was a professor with NIFT myself, then with FIT New York and London and Paris schools of fashion. So done a lot of things in the education side, and now I'm associated with multiple fashion universities globally, and we keep taking these kind of sessions, and anything which is important, anything which can give genuine value to the industry and to the students and to the fraternity completely, we are very, very open towards that, and we welcome these kind of offers from you.
All right, wonderful. Now, before I actually move ahead, I would like to mention that closer to this session, when it's closing, we will be sharing the details of a link which you can fill in case you want to connect with Sunil. Sunil is going to be happy to interact with you, take these discussions forward, and look at the possibilities of associations. Sunil, there is a follow-up. There's another question. Akhil has two questions. The first one is, how long is the process of creating a virtual store?
It takes about 45 days to 60 days to create a store, generally speaking. A store which is something like about 1,000 square feet kind of a scenario, the store in a mall, which is done digitally, and the kind of number of garments it can store is something similar to that. So that is what we call as the store. The first level of store is something like that. That is what we talk. So that is what it is.
All right. And he has a follow-up question, and he says, how much minimum SKUs in 3D will be required to see some results?
There is no such formula or something like that. There are luxury brands who have a huge store and probably have the lowest number of SKUs over there. Probably 20, 30 is good enough with a almost like a 2,000 square feet kind of a stuff. They have just 30 different SKUs and they're doing well in that. While retail brands have 300 different SKUs in a 1,000 square feet scenario. So there is no such genuine formula for that. You need to see what kind of a brand that you have and what kind of designs you can attract digital consumers with. So it's basically that. So it's not like that we would normally ask for something like 25, 30 different styles in a collection to make some kind of a store which looks like a genuine store and which can interest people. So that is the basic number we look at.
All right, wonderful. Now, Swati Soni says, I hope this platform will help to get in touch with some good international buyers too. I need to understand the entire process.
No, she's talking of the B2B environment, which we will be, I'll give a small snippet of that at the end of the thing. Yeah. That will be, what we have covered today is the B2C environment. We'll be covering B2B environment in our next session, where I'll be talking of experiential commerce. I was talking experiential commerce over here. I'll be talking of experiential collaboration, where you can make a store, which is a sampling store of yours for manufacturers and sourcing companies. They can genuinely have buyers coming in as avatars or buyers teams coming in as avatars, and you can genuinely have merchandising sessions. You can genuinely have business booking sessions. You can have design sessions. You can have basic collection discussions. So you can have all those kind of things in that kind of an environment, where it will be a B2B environment completely, where your buyer and their teams are joining from anywhere globally. You are joining from your thing, and the store, the overall sampling store, the sampling showroom of yours is absolutely similar to what you have in your office, something similar to that. But over there, you'll have the possibilities of changing everything. You'll have the possibilities of having multiple stores as per the buyer. So you are making multiple stores. You are probably dealing with 20 different buyers. Any medium-sized exporter, any small medium-sized exporter deals with almost like 20-25 buyers, maybe 50 buyers. And that, though, out of those 20-25 buyers, 5 of them are your 70% of your revenue is coming from those 5 of them. So those 5, for those 5, you should make showrooms which look like something which is connected with their brand, which is connected with their brand ethos, which is connected with their look and feel. So you can have, physically it becomes very, very difficult. It's a lot of money which is required to do that. But digitally, you can do probably 5 different stores with the collection set up for that particular buyer, so that whenever the buyer can come, whenever the buyer wishes to come, you can have, within a single day, you can have 5 different buyer calls, 5 different buyer meetings. And that can only be possible if you have these kind of stores available.
Wonderful. All right. Thank you so much, Sunil. So Aditya Mani says, appreciate awesome talk, appreciate the vision and the clarity. Thank you so much, Aditya, for the appreciation. Usha S has a question as to, can I link this to my website?
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what we say. When I talk of phygital collections, that is digital plus physical, that is done through connecting with, we integrate the e-commerce of yours with the experiential scenario, which is selling. One is the selling digital only clothes, the other is selling the physical clothes. We connect your styles from one platform to another, and when the people come and make their avatars, and can they buy this things from us digitally, they can have a link over there that these things are also available physically. In case you want to have them physically, you can have them. So as soon as you do say, yes, I want that physically in that size and this thing, the complete shipping cart is either transferred to your e-commerce site, or what kind of an integration you want, we can look at that and it's provided to you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And yes, Swati Soni says, Sunil, I'm looking forward to the session next time for the B2B. All right. Wonderful. Sejan Sivaraman says, hi, Sunil Gagan. It's a great webinar, need of the hour. My question is Trace Networks only for the fast fashion, or even couturiers would be able to use it? And how about leveraging metaverse in the handloom space?
That is for you to see. Genuinely, a metaverse is something which is absolutely related to your imagination rather than only mine. So you create your imagination, I create mine, and let us combine and utilize it for the handloom session, for the handloom sector also. Anything built out of handloom can genuinely be sold easily over here, and it can probably give a lot of possibility in terms of the global reach it can provide to you. So a global reach through digital only platforms, through digital NFTs, and physically you are probably selling in India right now, but as soon as the global reach starts to come in, you will be in a position to probably export it outside also. So it totally depends on what kind of an imagination you have. Let us combine each other's imagination and our capabilities, and then probably gain from that.
Super. Yes, Ajan, it's a good idea to connect with Sunil and look at that, those possibilities. A question from Vaishali Gupta comes with, and she says, besides apparel, do you also see metaverse integrating into with the interior space and design as well? And does Trace goals align with it?
Absolutely, absolutely. What we are doing in the showroom for you, we are genuinely doing the interiors for you one time, and that is done as per the designs which we discussed with you. So it's massively, the metaverse is massively into interior space. Home fashion is part of fashion. So when I talk of fashion, I'm not only talking of clothes only, or garments, or textile only. I talk of various kind of accessories that you put on. It could be jewelry, it could be eyewear, it could be watches, it could be home fashion, it could be furniture. All that is part of fashion, and we are making stores for all of that, and you can genuinely utilize all that.
Super, wonderful. Now, Sonal Jindal is curious about the cost of one such store creation. How about that?
Oh, that we need to discuss, Sonal. You will have my contact addresses from them. We need to discuss. It totally says, yeah, I want a house. How much it will cost me? So it totally depends on what you want in that house. You want 4 walls, or you want something more than that. So it totally depends on what is your expectation out of a house. The prices are totally dependent on that.
Wonderful. At this point, I would also request our team members to also put in information about Sunil and a link to connect with Sunil, so that we can get the expression of interest and we can help you connect. Sejan Sivaraman has already mentioned that he will be willing to connect with you for collaboration. Thank you, Sejan. We will definitely help you connect. Now the question, Sonal, cost has happened. Tanmaya Goswami, hi Tanmaya. She says, how does this platform connect with the end consumer or the customer? Specifically, we're talking about the B2C space.
In a B2C space, it is connecting to the end consumer exactly in the same way your e-commerce does. You are doing a lot of SEO and various other kind of promotion activities to get consumers on that. A similar kind of a thing, promotional activities are also done over here in the digital atmosphere, where you do it and we also do a basic scenario for you. So people are coming, making their avatars, trying on or interacting with digital clothes, and buying either digitally or digitally, and then they're going out with that. So it's basically that.
All right, wonderful. So Tanmay, I hope your question has been answered. Sonal Jindal also wants to be connected with you. Thanks, Sonal. We will be, and if you will see at this point, our team, Sonal has actually just put a link to connect with Sunil. So just click on the link and you will be able to fill in a form whereby we can help you proceed your leads to Sunil here. Now, Usha S asks a question, how great a support I can seek for exports with this? And will that be a part of our next time's discussion?
Yes,
Yes.
it's a B2B scenario. But yes, if you have a brand or if you are a manufacturer, for both of you, we have offers available. And although we do not say that we will promote something and give you buyers or sellers, that is what Sotex does for you. We are integrating with them, and let us all collaborate for you to get more buyers on the export side. And we create a collaborative atmosphere for you to interact with the buyers in a proper way.
Okay, wonderful. Rumit has an interesting question, Sunil. He says that how does the platform help the people in the digital printing? So how does digital printing brands, companies leverage from your platform or also from Metaverse in general?
Digital printing brands can massively, more massively than anybody else, can leverage out of it, because you can genuinely show a t-shirt, and that t-shirt you can show any number of digital prints, and I can immediately print them onto your t-shirt, create those digital avatars of you, create those digital collections of you also, and start selling it very, very fast. And you can start creating that in a digital atmosphere in a much faster way. And you can probably experiment that in a much faster way than any other form of doing things. So because you are making a design does not take long, and putting it onto a t-shirt or any of these digital printing scenarios also does not take that long. So digital printing scenarios are going to be benefiting out of this kind of a platform very, very fast.
All right. So Rumit, I don't know if you were there or not when Sunil mentioned about the digital to phygital to being physical, and that's where the whole conversion and getting the printing starts, right? Isn't it, Sunil?
In my avatar building scenario, I showed digital printed t-shirts connected and changing from one to another. So that's what I'd shown, and probably you can go through that recording once again and see my avatar was shifting from one to another. Quite a few of them were digitally printed.
Wonderful. All right. We have another question from Saloni. She says, I just wanted to ask if there is any connection between AR and metaverse.
AR is one of the technologies which is being used to access or to have various kind of possibilities with the metaverse. That is what it is.
All right. Okay.
Augmented
Augmented
reality.
reality. Yes, absolutely. I think it's because of AR or VR, you will be able to go and access at any point of time. Is that so?
Yeah, there are various possibilities. There are various things. There are various things which are evolving. So depending on which goes better than the others, there are various scenarios happening. So genuinely what you can do, you can put VR glasses on you and you can genuinely have a complete immersive atmosphere where it looks like that you are moving around in a showroom, trying out clothes from there, interacting with clothes, and then trying them out and then buying them. So when you have a VR glass, so the immersiveness of the experience improves. It gives you a 3D scenario. It gives you a possibility of genuinely interacting and moving around in a genuine store. So that is what it gives you. It improves the experiences. So these AR, VR, mixed reality scenarios are basically, that is what is being achieved out of them.
Wonderful. Thank you, Sunil. Rumit has, or before I ask, before I take Rumit's question, I would like to ask, mentioned Sunil to you is that our number of people who came here at the start 1 hour ago have not really reduced for that matter, and which is really wonderful to see that you guys are taking so much of interest. And the questions, we are here and we requested Sunil to sit for some more time to answer all the possible questions. So please feel free to put in your questions. And now I take up a follow-up question from Rumit on the digital printing scenario, right? He says, however, in the digital printing, the color combination and quality of the color and print really matters for the consumer, which only can be seen and felt physically. So how we will help with that in the metaverse?
Several new things, several new technologies are evolving where almost real-like scenarios are happening. So 3D 3D scenarios which are there, and all those kind of real-looking scenarios are already coming up. So, and it has a lot of acceptability with export buyers also. So all that is improving. Yes, it is not replaceable to seeing it with naked eye. It is not replaceable to touching it and actually trying it on physically. That's a different environment altogether. But over here, I'm talking of selling digital clothes. So in a digital cloth, you cannot touch them. You can only wear them and they should look as real as possible. So we, on a regular basis, this technology is evolving and it is getting to more real like. Trace network is the biggest distinguishing factor that we provide are basically real looking avatars with real looking clothes and creating real looking absolute real earning possibilities for you and creating an immersive atmosphere where more than one people can be there in the showroom and interact with you, and you can genuinely have a social selling atmosphere, something which nobody is giving globally. So you can go and try. You will not be in a position to find that kind of a thing. So that is one of the biggest distinguishing factor that we are giving.
Super, wonderful. Thank you so much, Sunil, for this. And I will take this opportunity to put this link again into the chat box, whereby you can click it and straight away express your interest to connect with Sunil if you think that you want to take this conversation forward. By the way, friends, we are past 20 three questions which we've asked, which have been answered so far, and we are on the top of the hour. And I see there is one more question which has come in. Good. Please keep asking questions. We don't mind answering. Rumit says, is there a free trial or something to try or see or visualize the platform? How can we really see it?
Yes, we can give, if you connect with us, and there would be a possibility of seeing the thing, but not a free trial. Free trials are not available for any of these kind of new evolving platforms and new high technology platforms. There are no free trials available. In case you wish to try that, in case you wish to plan it out, you can probably make your avatars on my platform. If you're using digital wallets, you have the possibility of making your avatars and seeing some kind of a possibility over there. Seeing it on your avatar will definitely change your views massively.
Super. Wonderful. So Romit, please connect and take this thing forward. Okay, Anubhav Singh asks a question. Thank you so much for answering my previous question. Just a quick question which I might have missed. Okay. Currently, what are the biggest challenges you are facing in the metaverse space, and what about digital currency stability?
This is a different kind of a question, but yes, I'll still answer it. Digital currency stability is what you need not bother about, and I cannot handle that aspect in any case. What is the first question?
It says, what are the challenges which you are facing in the metaverse space?
Oh, challenges which are being faced right now is all the different metaverses or digital landscapes are not totally integrated to each other. They're not allowing movement from one to another. There is a lot of technological related issues which they have, because most of them have been old gaming platforms and they've upgraded from there. So those are the kind of different problems that they are there. Yes, there is a digital instability aspect of cryptocurrencies that is there, and people are still accepting that aspect of it, because that is something which you and I at least cannot control. And soon it is not only digital currencies, the same experiential commerce is also coming on to credit card payments on fiat currency, which is the normal currency. So you'll have all those kind of possibilities also. So instabilities is something which the brands need not bother about, because genuinely the brands who do not wish to deal in crypto or any of those digital currencies, they need not do it. Very soon things would be available on credit card and various other kind of payment modes, or digital currencies which are normal digital currencies like Paytm and other kind of things.
Wonderful. All right. Anubhav, I hope your question has been answered. Yes, it is excellent. Thank you very much. Great. A question from Sajan Sevaraman. I see metaverse still being seen too animated. Is there a possibility to make it look at par with the real life? And if yes, how soon and how close is Trace Networks on that journey of looking real?
I have already shown you what I'm doing. How real looking it looks, you have to tell me. And it is evolving very, very fast. More and more people are wanting to do genuine avatars rather than gamish and fun looking avatars only. But everybody has their own focus towards it. People who are focusing more towards the gaming side of things, they have gamish avatars. People who are more on the because we are from the fashion trade, for us genuine real looks which are expressed with genuine real looking clothes and other wearables is more important to us. So that is why we have built our focus towards that, and that's what we are doing. And they are genuinely real looking scenarios, considering that I'm just taking a selfie of yours and creating that avatar of yours. If it is a complete 3D scan, I can give 100% scanning, 100% avatar for your shape and size. So those things are possible, but considering the acceptability of the more number of people, they are all using it through phone or using it through laptops. So on that, taking a complete 3D scan on those kind of things becomes a difficult scenario. So that's why we've gone only for a simple selfie, or uploading a basic picture of yours and creating as much possible a real looking avatar of yours. which can put on real looking digital clothes from various brands who are connected with us and who are creating stores with us.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. And Sejan, I hope your question has been answered. And if yes, if you had the chance to see the earlier video, what Sunil shown, I could see it in terms of the way the avatar looks or the way the avatar moves is very, very close to the reality. And if you could see the kind of backgrounds, which you can bring in into the metaverse, the possibilities of being real are numerous for that matter. Uh, all right, that brings us to the end of all the questions. I haven't seen a question in the past few minutes. Before we actually close it today, call it a day, Sunil, I would like you to please give a teaser. You had briefly mentioned in between as well, but please tell us, give a teaser for what's in store for next session. By the way, this is a series of sessions on metaverse, which we have been talking about. And today's session was primarily on B2C and the possibilities around it, business to consumer, where the brands can interact directly with the customers. Next time, it's going to be B2B, right? So Sunil, tell us what are the possibilities you are talking, or give us a hint about the next session, which is going to be coming.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'll just reiterate. I gave a basic snippet in between also, but what I will be in a position to, what I was showing today was a B2C environment for retailers or for brands. What I will be taking the concept further into a B2B environment, which is for manufacturers and for sourcing companies. The way they normally operate is that they call their buyers, they are exporting to buyers globally, and they call their buyers to come into their showrooms, physical showrooms in India mainly, or anywhere else in the world also. So they call them over there, and they have those collaborative designing sessions, they have collaborative merchandising sessions, they have collaborative business booking sessions in which you discuss with the buyer what you want, and the buyer is discussing with you what he wants, and depending on the kind of combinations of those discussions, collections are decided upon. So the next scenario that I will be talking of is where you can make a showroom where you and your buyers and their teams can join together, and you can have a similar collaborative merchandising, business booking, design making, and discussion sessions where you are in a position to finalize on your orders, and those sessions will be directly connected to your PLM or ERP scenarios. So B2C scenarios are connecting backend to your e-commerce, and collaboration scenarios are directly connected to your PLM and ERPs. So that way you are in a position to have a genuine session with your buyers, multiple sessions with multiple buyers in a single day. So all that would be possible out of our next platform scenario, which is a B2B experiential commerce from Trace Network.
Wonderful, wonderful. With this, I see that there is a lot in store for the next time as well. And by the way, thank you so much, friends, for coming over today and listening, understanding, and asking so many questions around the topic for today, which is metaverse. And yes, we will soon be announcing the dates for our next month session. We do a series of these sessions, and our next session will be a Thursday like this in June, and we will announce and give you ample time to attend or even call your friends who can also benefit from this knowledge. And yes, if you also need to see or look at some of his previous sessions, what Sunil has been talking, we started in the very first session with the very basics of metaverse. And if some of you want to go ahead and listen to that, you can go on to connect.sowtex.com and you can look at or listen to the first of the sessions, or the entire series rather is available where you can listen. In this series, this recording will also be uploaded onto the SowtexConnect website as well. Well, before I close this particular session, I would also like you to please note that as I discussed earlier, Sowtex, through its SowtexConnect vertical, under which this particular session is being done, is also doing a lot of offline and online buyer seller meets. I spoke about a very interesting fashion meet which happened a week before, 2 weeks before. Now we are going to have a very interesting mill meet which is coming up in Jaipur, which is happening on the 25th of this month. There you go. The details of this meet is here on the screen. I had shown you this in the previous when I was making a presentation. Now you see, in this case, we are showcasing the trends and materials, varieties of man-made fabrics, recyclable and organic fabrics, embroideries, laces and trims, prints for the season, for the spring summer 22-23 collection. All of this is possible with so many buyers coming in from various associations. As you can see, the associations are already there at the bottom, and then yes, you can certainly be a part of it. Whether there are two possibilities: you can be an exhibitor there, you can be somebody who could be presenting your products as a supplier, or you could also, if you are in the Jaipur area or the region, you could actually be attending one as well. You could participate and look at the people who are presenting, right? Now Rumit asked a question. I am from Jaipur. I am just starting up and setting digital printing now. Will this be of any help to you? Yes, Rumit, this will definitely be of help to you. Connect with our team, and they can guide you on how can you be a part of this particular event which we are showcasing. All right. With this, I would now like to call it today, and would like to thank Sunil for this wonderful initiative, what you've started in telling people about the possibilities of metaverse, because I see suddenly people start seeing opportunities, people start seeing the possibilities of expansion, people start seeing the possibilities of going global for that matter, and that too sitting from their office, just creating a tool and going global. What do you say about it? Yes.
Absolutely. Genuinely speaking, this is one platform which we have created, and we are happy that we are giving even the budding designers, even the budding brands, the possibility of giving competition to the LVs of the world, because now geographies are no limits for you. If you are designing well, if you have the possibility to connect with your consumers from anywhere in the world, you have the possibility of giving a lot of competition to these big brands. So, which was not possible earlier. There was no platform available of that kind. This platform gives you that possibility. So utilize it and move ahead in your dreams. That's what I say.
Wonderful. Vaishali Gupta says a parting adieu with thanks a ton. This was a very insightful session. Looking forward to more such sessions. Yes, Vaishali, we'll keep coming back to you guys with many more such sessions around metaverse, and of course with SowtexConnect, a lot of sessions around textile and apparel domain. With this, I would like to say thank you to everyone who spent their time here with us for more than an hour now, who've been with us, understanding, learning more about the possibilities of their business growth, their expansion, and going into an altogether new world. And I would like to thank our expert here, Sunil, the co-founder of Trace Networks, who has been kind enough to talk about the numerous possibilities. Thank you so much, Sunil, for being on the session.
Thank you to you, and thank you to all the participants who joined with so much of encouragement and so much of involvement. I'm very sure these concepts are going to help them in big way possible.
All right. Sunil, we are never away from answering a couple of more questions. And this one looks interesting because Naresh Kumar Agarwal here joined us from Bangladesh. And he sees that there is a good potential in Bangladesh. And he says, can you help in the Bangladesh market?
Yeah, sure. We can help in the Bangladesh market. You can connect with Sotex, which are already doing a lot of work in Bangladesh market, or you can directly connect with me and we can talk of what are the possibilities over there and how you wish to promote that. We can discuss that. We are happy to partner with people who have the right kind of capability and the network to take these concepts to the right kind of people. So that's absolutely no issues at all.
All right, wonderful. To all of you who, okay, Naresh, you says, please advise how to connect. All right. So Naresh, what you can do is, I am giving you a link here. Okay. because we are about to close the session, I'm putting a link in the chat box at this point of time. And this link, what you need to do is to click right now. There is a Google form which will open, and you can simply click this, fill this form. We get your details. While I've made a note already about you, so that some of you have already shown the interest, I will make sure that all of you get connected to Sunil to take it forward. All right. Uh, all right. Then moving forward, all right. Okay, now he says, okay, thank you. So Naresh, definitely we will be happy to connect, and Sunil will be happy to connect with you. All right. With this, I would like to thank you all for being here today. And we are looking forward to many of you, if you are around the Rajasthan area, to please come in the in our mill meet, which is happening on the next week on the 25th, which is Wednesday. And apart from that, of course, because you're already in our session, you will get information about our next events, which happen all the time on the Thursdays, the online events. With this, I would like to say a goodbye to all of you. Thank you so much, and looking forward to seeing you sometime soon. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.